In The Godfather, Don Barzini, the man who rose to power in the shadows of New York, finally met his fate. In a world where alliances are fragile and betrayals are deadly, his fall was as swift as his rise. In this video, we will explore how Barzini, a feared and respected figure, became the most powerful boss in the city, and how, in an unexpected turn of events, it all came crashing down. Join us as we delve into the final moments of this iconic mafia boss and uncover the secrets behind his significant downfall. Emilio Barzini establishes himself as the most powerful don in New York after Sonny's death through a series of strategic maneuvers and betrayals that undermine the Corleone's influence and strengthen his own position. At the outset, he has ambitions to expand his power. He knows that the Corleone family, led by Vito, is the most powerful, but he sees the powerful don's reluctance to get involved in the drug trade as an opportunity. Manipulating events to cause a war between the families, Barzini incites Sollozzo to challenge the Godfather. The attempted assassination of Vito and the subsequent death of Sonny, after the ambush on the road, are part of Barzini's plan to destabilize the Corleone family. Barzini recognizes Sonny's impulsiveness and lack of experience. He exploits these weaknesses by manipulating Carlo Rizzi, Sonny's brother-in-law, to provoke fights with Connie, which ultimately results in Santino's death at the toll booth. With the firstborn Sunday, D, and Vito weakened both physically and politically, Barzini seizes the opportunity to take control. He forms alliances with other families and positions himself as the new unofficial leader of organized crime in New York. He does not seek direct confrontation with the Corleones, but instead undermines their authority and influence through alliances and strategic agreements. During the meeting of the five families, which takes place after Santino's death, Barzini leads the negotiations, signaling his rise to power. With Vito's apparent shift toward a more diplomatic approach rather than a violent response, the rivals, led by Don Barzini, begin to exploit the situation. They invade Corleone-controlled territories to test the family's response and assess their real power. When Barzini and other rivals notice that Vito and his associates do not react aggressively, this lack of response is interpreted as a sign of weakness or an inability to retaliate. The Corleone's inaction is seen as an indication that the family may be more weakened than previously thought. The absence of a significant reaction from Vito encourages the rivals, especially Barzini, to continue their incursions and expand their territories even further. They grow increasingly confident that the Corleones are vulnerable, and therefore, there is an opportunity to gain more power and influence. The advancement of the Corleone family's enemies and the expansion of territories reflect the power dynamics at play, with Barzini and other bosses attempting to capitalize on the situation to strengthen their own positions. Clemenza and Tessio, who are responsible for important areas of the family's operation, watch with growing unease as their territories are progressively taken over by rivals, especially by Barzini. The loss of territory not only affects the family's influence and control, but also compromises its financial security and strategic position. As the situation deteriorates, the pressure on Michael Corleone, the new don of the family, increases considerably. The situation places Michael in a difficult position. He needs to demonstrate leadership and make quick and effective decisions to regain control of the lost territories and reassert the family's power. Clemenza and Tessio, among other capos, expect Michael to demonstrate the family's strength, but he holds back. As a result, Tessio observes Barzini's advance and the lack of an effective response from the Corleone family under Michael's leadership. With the continued loss of territories and the apparent weakening of the family, Tessio realizes that a shift in the balance of power is imminent. Thus, he decides to ally with Barzini. This decision is motivated by the perception that Emilio is in a stronger position and that an alliance with him could ensure his own position and security in the new power landscape. Barzini, observing what he perceives as Michael's weakness and the decline of the Corleone family's power, becomes extremely confident. He believed that Michael did not pose a significant threat and that his own position as the new dominant leader was secured. Barzini's confidence was so great that he was already in the process of formalizing Tessio's betrayal. believing that Michael would be easily defeated or manipulated. Tessio's attempt to arrange a meeting between Michael and BARZINI, which was actually a trap, reflected this confidence. BARZINI's demeanor at Vito's funeral exemplifies his underestimation of Michael Corleone. BARZINI believed that Michael did not have the strength, intelligence, or support necessary to represent a real threat, which ultimately proved to be a fatal mistake. BARZINI's confidence and lack of caution turned out to be his greatest weaknesses. Contrary to what BARZINI and others thought, Michael was prepared and able to decisively turn the tables, eliminating his enemies and restoring the Corleone family's supremacy. BARZINI's overconfidence during Vito Corleone's funeral demonstrates how he underestimated Michael and believed his victory was assured, which led to his own downfall. Upon seeing the apparent inaction of the Corleones and viewing Michael as a weak leader, BARZINI grew extremely confident that he had the situation under control. He believed that with Vito Corleone out of the game, Michael would not have the slightest chance or the strength needed for the deadly world of the mafia. BARZINI made the fatal mistake of believing he had already won the war against the Corleones, which caused him to lower his guard, not taking the necessary precautions to protect himself against possible retaliation. BARZINI's blind confidence, combined with his underestimation of Michael Corleone, was what made his death so unexpected and decisive. Michael capitalized on this error in judgment to eliminate one of his biggest rivals and reaffirm the Corleone family's power. Al Neri, Michael's trusted enforcer, played a crucial role in executing the plan to eliminate the rival family bosses, including Don BARZINI. BARZINI's death was a meticulously planned and executed moment, and Neri's skill was impressively demonstrated in how he carried out the attack. Disguised as a traffic cop, Al Neri patiently waited for the right moment to act. When BARZINI exited the building and approached his car, Neri was positioned at a considerable distance, but still within accurate range, showing his skill in medium-range shooting. Identifying the ideal moment, he assumed a crouched shooting stance. This stance allows the shooter to better control the weapon's recoil, keeping the aim aligned with the target. By stabilizing the weapon with his arm supported, Neri managed to maintain precise aim even under the pressure of a public assassination. The action was cold and calculated. He acted calmly, without hesitation, demonstrating his experience and training as the Corleone family's assassin. His execution was fatal, catching BARZINI completely by surprise from behind, which holds a profound significance. When someone is caught from behind, it usually means they were completely taken by surprise with no one to guard their back, demonstrating vulnerability. The ability to eliminate a Don of BARZINI's stature in this way was not only a physical blow, but also a psychologically impactful one for all those who underestimated Michael. By executing the most powerful boss in the mafia scene in this manner, Michael dismantled the confidence his rivals had in their own security and power. Those who believed Michael was weak or incapable of protecting his interests were forced to acknowledge that he was always one step ahead. He proved that he could reach any of his enemies, no matter how powerful they were, and that he had the ability to eliminate threats decisively. This made it clear to everyone in the criminal underworld that Michael Corleone was not someone to be underestimated. He was willing to make tough and ruthless decisions to protect his family and his interests, ensuring that his dominance was absolute and undisputed. This action was a brilliant strategic move by Michael, solidifying his position as the new Don and sending a message that under his leadership, the Corleones would be stronger and more feared than ever. If you enjoyed this analysis of Don BARZINI's final moments, don't forget to leave a like and share it with other fans of The Godfather. It really helps the channel continue bringing content like this. And if you're not yet subscribed, make sure to subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming analyses. Thank you for watching.